Amazon pays zero or almost zero corporate income tax for last like many years. And in this video, I'm going to cover how Amazon is able to do that. And if you are a corporate owner or a firm owner, and if you pay those taxes, you need to ask your CPA, why do I pay the tax when the Amazon does not answer? And I am not a financial advisor or a CPA, and this is only for the purpose of the information. uh, and this information could be factually incorrect, but you can use this information to kind of start thinking about it, and then take these questions to your CPA and ask them, or use these to this for your discussions with among your friends about the taxations and everything. So in 2018, the Amazon made a profit of $18 billion, which is a lot, the big money. It paid $0 of corporate income tax, and it actually got $129 of money back uh, from the government for against the taxes, because it probably had overpaid. These figures come from its current provisions for the taxes, and they are not necessarily a legal document but an indication of the fact that Amazon paid almost zero tax. So how was Amazon able to do that? First of all, there is a carry forward losses. There were losses in the previous years. When Amazon started, it had big losses because it subsidized many things that it sold on Amazon. It had a low yearly kind of subscription rate for the Amazon Prime, and so on and so forth. It started investing into R&D, but they were not generating profit. For example, the cloud services and so on and so forth. So now it started making profit. It could claim those losses against that $18 billion of losses. So that's something you need to keep in mind. One of the biggest things that came in that balanced those profit was its tax credit for R&D work. So if you are a business owner and you are generating profit, what you could do is you could set up an R&D cell which does some kind of R&D work, and you need to document it, very specific about it. For example, you could have some people write a patent for the task, for the new innovations they are doing, and that very well kind of documents that you are doing some R&D work. And that R&D work has to be real. It has to be documented depending upon which section. There are specific sections in the IRS code, probably 4.1.b or something like that. I don't remember right on the top of the head, but you need to look at it and talk to your CPA, your financial advisor, that what you could do to reinvest your profit so that you don't have to pay the corporate income tax. So Amazon obviously does a lot of R&D for its cloud, for its computing, for maybe its Alexa, for like AI and so on and so forth. Those research investments can be claimed as the R&D credit. The third one is the stock-based compensation. So what the stock-based compensation exactly is, and how does it reduces the tax liability? So what, for example, if there are Amazon vice presidents, a lot of higher ups, employees, they are paid, they are paid good handsome amount of salary, but to incentivize them, what Amazon one way to incentivize that Amazon could do is, for example, it takes, let's say, $100,000, buy the Amazon stocks from the market, and it could give it to its employees. So, and then that they could claim that $100,000 as its expense. What instead Amazon does is it just hands over to those employees a simple paper or a statement that you are given, for example, 100 shares of the Amazon. For example, one share of it, let's say $3,000, then maybe 10 shares would be like $30,000, and then if it's a higher up employee, then they can pay $300,000 by issuing them 100 shares of Amazon. What it does, it just simply hands them over a paper saying that now you get 100 shares of Amazon, and then the current price of that share, which is like $300,000, that it will claim as the stock based compensation. And the good thing about, from the Amazon's point of view, is that the higher the stocks go, the more it can claim as the stock based compensation deductions. And it could be paying like billions of dollars in terms of stock based compensation. That benefits the employee, and that actually reduces the tax liability for the Amazon. So that's one way Amazon reduces its tax liability. The other way it reduces is by purchasing the capital equipment, for example, its warehouses, its servers, its investment in the solar energy, and so on and so forth. And it could claim the depreciation on those expenses as in terms of by reducing its expense against its profit. So those are some of the ways that it's Amazon uses, and that there is no reason why other companies cannot use the same strategy to reduce their corporate income tax. There are few things that you need to keep in mind, that the government does get the tax by the operation of the Amazon. For example, in the stock options, when the employee actually gets this stock, they actually end up paying the income tax on those stock option compensations. For example, and they would be paying that tax at the highest rate of their income tax slab. So if they are in like 35% income tax slab, they will be paying tax at the rate of 35%. Um, the the employees who are paid by the Amazon, they do pay the income tax, and that's one way government eventually gets paid in terms of income tax. But then that's true for all other companies, whether it's Amazon, for any other company, anyone who generates that, any company that generates employment, and that employs some employees, and that employees, they eventually pay some income tax to the government. Then the state taxes, they are still paid. For example, the sales tax, they are still paid to the state taxes. Those are the taxes that they still have to pay. But Amazon, it looks like it extends the extent to which it makes use of those credits and those facilities they have available compared to other companies. So they are more aggressive in saving the taxes on corporate or other forms. So I hope this information is helpful to you. Send your comments in the comment section if that you found it helpful, and let's generate some discussion about it. And hopefully it's useful, especially if you are a business owner. Thanks for taking a look.